Good afternoon, Justin gives you the National Weather Service in Paducah. We have a little bit of a severe weather situation to discuss with you this afternoon. We do have a watch out for parts of the area, maybe expanding that watch to include parts of the rest of southeast Missouri here shortly. Actually, we actually did that just a few minutes ago, extending the watch to Cape Girardeau, Bond through the Madden, Perry, Stoddard counties, so basically everywhere in southeast Missouri. We've got thunderstorms over central Missouri that are pushing off to the south. We have one thunderstorm over the northern part of Butler County that has been it's not severe, but it's been impressive enough to be watching it over the last little bit. We've got more storms over central Missouri that also could move to the southeast. And then earlier we had some storms over southern Illinois that have fallen apart, but there's an area of lift coming over northeast Missouri that will probably set everything else off once it gets here. We're very unstable today, which you could probably tell just by poking your head outside. It's very hot, it's very humid, and we have better shear than what we have had in the past. There's a little bit of a gradient where we're less unstable across parts of south central Kentucky and the Pennyroyal, but southern Illinois, especially southeast Missouri and far western Kentucky, quite unstable. And we've got a source of lift coming, source of shear. We got all the ingredients that we need for instances of large hail and damaging winds. We're watching to see if any of these storms form into a line that would increase the damaging wind threat. And you see here in southeast Missouri, we get 70-mile-per-hour winds reported. These are kind of supercellular-like looking storms there. And then this one's intersecting lots of different storm mergers and things going on. So anytime it gets this unstable, we get to watching and go, we could end up with some pretty large hail and some damaging wind. The tornado threat does not look especially strong. It's not zero if we get upscale into a line, but it's not real strong either. We're not super concerned about it at this point. We'll obviously watch it. We're also concerned about flash flooding tonight. Here's a look at the Weather Prediction Center, which is our flash flood helpers. They've got a moderate risk, which is 4 out of 5 across 1, 2, 3. We don't do enhanced on these, so it's pretty significant for Pennyroyal, Southern Illinois. And whether or not that position is exactly right or not, we don't know yet. But we're concerned that we had a pretty strong signal in the models that we get things like this that set up and then train over the same area, and then that could lead to pretty significant flash flooding. And we expect that will happen somewhere over southern Illinois, southwest Indiana, western Kentucky, or SEMO. We just don't know where yet. When we get a better feel for where, we'll likely issue a flash flood watch. If we can get that confidence up, we just don't have the confidence yet to say this is the spot, we think, because we're talking about storms that are 30 miles across. They're impossible to measure, that sort of thing. We also have a weather radio outage that we wanted to let you know about. The Marion weather radio transmitter, which serves a big chunk of southern Illinois, and the McLeansboro transmitter, which serves parts of Hamilton County, White County, Wayne County, I believe, are down. We've got a communications failure between the office and the transmitter. We have folks working on it, trying to track down why that outage has occurred. We're trying to get it back up before we end up in warnings tonight. Obviously, we've been trying to get it going all day, actually. But it's down right now, so if you have a weather radio, be aware that it may not go off, and have alternative means, have apps or other sources for severe weather information, and to be keeping up with it that way, because the weather radio outage will affect a lot of folks. When Marion, Carbondale, Harrisburg, Vienna, Jonesboro, all of that gets alerted by that Marion transmitter. So be aware of that tonight. We hate that, but it's out of our control, and we're working to restore service, obviously, as quickly as we can. Timing-wise, it's very difficult. It's very weak forcing that's in charge of all of this. We're basically kind of in watch warning mode now for southeast Missouri, and we're watching even this storm in Butler County that could go severe. And then the rest of it will probably be 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. That lift will start to arrive, pick up maybe over the St. Louis area, Perry County, Moe, Carbondale, places like that, and then through the early overnight, sweeping to the southeast, into western Kentucky maybe by midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And then we'll just have to watch it. And sometimes we have the systems that are well defined, and we know this is the sharp edge, the front's here. In the summertime, it's just not that way. There's just a soupy air mass, and any one area, a storm could form and pop up. And so that's kind of where we're at. We're in watch mode. We're going to continue to monitor it. We recommend that you do the same, and we'll watch for damaging wind and large hail, and that potential will keep up probably through at least midnight, and we will try to update as we can in the information that we get, give you the best information. We're posting graphics and doing the things that we typically do. So everyone have a pleasant evening.